We are Two Guys Playing Zelda, and you can follow us on Twitter at Two Guys Play Zelda or email us at twoguysPlayingZelda@gmail.com.
Welcome to part 1 of our video walkthrough of the original Legend of Zelda. And full confession here, even though we call ourselves Two Guys Playing Zelda, this was actually the first time either of us, Heath or myself, had played through the original Legend of Zelda.
Well, I ran through it once, but only got to the 3rd dungeon, so I just didn't get very far. And the main reason I never got that far in this game because it's so hard. But in this video, we're going to show you like a lot of items to get that's actually going to make it a lot easier.
Right off the bat, you only start out with 3 hearts.
Yeah.
It's a little tough. Your sword doesn't have the same range of motion as it has in other Zelda games.
Just a straight stab, basically, is all it is.
It's definitely a shock of a game coming back to it from something like A Link to the Past or from the 3D Zelda games.
Yeah, it's just harder, yeah.
That was the Nintendo games back in the day.
Yeah.
They were tough.
Like I said, like we're also using a Wii controller, which we use. It's kind of hard to control too.
It's a tiny little D-pad you have to work with. But as you've seen already, you basically start the game getting the sword, which is nice.
The wooden sword,
and that iconic phrase. It's
where it all
dangerous to go
started.
alone.
Where it all started.
Yep. So, and now I think we're heading after. We're gonna get some bombs and some rupees.
Yes,
there's a ton of items.
Yes, it'll be 20 rupees to get the bombs here to start off with. And we got some hard pieces we're going to get. We're going to get a letter that will allow us to get some medicine.
And improved sword too.
Yeah, improved sword, candle, potions.
Yeah, there's a nice thing about this game. You could load up on items before you get to the first dungeon.
And that's why I never played this game, because I didn't know to get all this stuff before the first dungeon. So I mean, and one of the biggest things I think, other than the 3 hearts, is the White Tunic we're going to get.
Oh, that cuts your damage in half.
Yeah, it cuts your damage in half. So that's also huge right there too.
Yes, it is. And honestly, without a guide, knowing where some of this stuff is, it just seems impossible.
I can't even imagine playing this back in the day when it came out.
It's like there's random walls to bomb, bushes to set on fire later that you'll see. It's like, how would you even know that?
No, I can. Well, it came with a map in the game, but I don't know if it showed those locations of like what you burn and stuff.
I wouldn't think so.
But I know it did come with a map.
Well, thank goodness, because this little map there at the top left of your screen doesn't do you a
dude,
whole lot
when
of
I
good.
was 8, I would have quit this game like after a week.
Heck, we quit this game a few times anyway. But anyway, as you see, we're kind of working our way around the overworld here, just to collect, like we said, some items, some rupees, some bombs.
And we'll actually come back here in a later walkthrough, and we'll go ahead and get those arrows. But we gotta get the bow first, which is it's in the first dungeon, but we won't get the arrows for a while.
And if you get to that room without enough rupees, just go kill.
Just go kill some more enemies.
Octo rocks or whatever these
If
things
you kill most of the enemies on the way there, you should have 20 rupees. But if not, just go out and kill some more.
Yeah, otherwise it's a waste of time.
And it doesn't seem like there's near as many enemies on the way back, though.
But thankfully, they don't respawn unless you go into a dungeon, I don't think.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Wow, I did not know that.
Which is that's why
I never noticed that.
Like even in rooms where you don't necessarily need to kill
I
enemies.
didn't know that.
Yep, because unless you go into a
I
dungeon,
wonder why there's no enemies.
And here's our first heart, and you can't even call them heart pieces because in this game it actually gives you a full heart.
Man, I wish they were like that. Actually, I like collecting heart pieces, so
it makes it a challenge. It gives you more to do.
I wonder if you get the medicine right there, can you not get the heart after that? I've always been curious about that. And then my other question is, if you get the heart, can you come back and get the medicine?
I'm not sure. I honestly couldn't tell.
Let's check that out next time I play.
Hey, it's a great question. I mean, otherwise, there's no reason to get the medicine.
Yeah, I've never tried it.
Yeah, I mean, the potions come in handy later, of course.
Because we're using the potions right now in our later walkthroughs. So I want to know if I can go back and get that for free.
But at this point, you definitely want the heart pieces because, like we mentioned earlier, three hearts is not enough.
And we're going to end up having 6 heart pieces before we even go into the first dungeon,
which is a lifesaver. And as we say, here's heart piece number 2.
Yep, right off the bat. And after you get 5 of them, that allows you to get the next sword, which I don't know what's called. Light sword, golden sword?
I'm actually not sure.
Golden swords in Link to the Past. I don't know what's called.
I know the magic sword is the last sword you get. I'm not sure what the second sword is.
I'm not sure either. Light sword. I think it's called a light sword.
We'll find out when we get... Well, actually, they don't even say when you get
No, they don't.
Tell you what, though, I can't wait to get that magic shield, though, so you can deflect some of those shots that you're
taking. Yes, and that's... I don't know.
That's down the road. Upgrade. we get that a little bit later. Actually, you have to pay for that one, too, I think.
Yes, you do. But there's a cheaper shop that will show you can buy from when that time comes.
Yep, that's a little ways away.
And this is the letter that you'll give to the old woman that'll allow you to buy potions.
Yep, I think it kind of kicks off a little bit of a trading... No, not necessarily a trading process, but like you said, you give this to a woman, she lets you buy potions. It's similar to the trading processes you see in other Zelda games, but it's a lot shorter.
It's not near as intense,
But granted, it's an NES.
I don't know what this... I don't think this is a dungeon. Maybe it is a dungeon.
I read it's a game. It's a gambling game.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I'm going to go check that out.
I think it's
Is it got blackjack in there?
No, not that kind of gambling game. I think it's basically you select a rupee. It's like you pick up the duck in the carnival game. It's like you select a rupee. You can either win rupees or lose rupees, and there's no. It's random. It's totally random. So.
I guess I really haven't been doing much exploring in this.
Oh, you're hurting. Those flying things are such a pain, though. You can only kill them when they land, but they can hurt you wherever they are.
Yeah.
So I just avoid.
You never know which way they're going to go. Oh, you talking about those right there?
Yeah,
oh,
those
okay.
flying things.
I was talking about the other enemies.
Well, those guys are a pain too.
Yes.
Those jumping.
Yeah, I would say avoid those spinny fly things.
Yeah, I think they're called some kind of flowers, I believe. But
yeah, when you get on the first screen first, they'll just go straight, and then they'll start going like every which way.
Split into several.
If you can get going like kind of bomb at the beginning, you should be okay.
Yep.
And right here, I think we're going to get the sword.
Nice work with the controller there.
Yeah, it's like that all game.
Yep. No, I believe we are actually going for the new sword now, which is great that you can not only get the sword but also the sword upgrade before you even.
Yeah, like I said, you gotta have. I thought that was gonna hit me. To be honest with you,
you were cutting that close.
You gotta have 5 hearts to get the sword, which is actually they give you a hint in the second dungeon that tells you have you visited the waterfall or whatever.
That's
you got by the waterfall.
I'm not sure why it says you have to master this to get the sword. I mean, you don't really have to master anything to get it.
No, he says Master's not using it. You can take it. Doesn't he?
Is that what he said?
I think he says Master's not using this. You can have it.
And that would make a lot more sense than
I'm pretty sure
master this and you can take it.
No, I don't think it says that.
There's not a whole lot to master on this game when it comes to the sword.
No,
stab ahead.
Which is, yeah, like you said earlier, that's really what made this game so hard. Was only being able to stab forward.
Yep, and like in A Link to the Past, you can stab in. It's an arch. You can cover at least 2 directions with it.
And if you're watching us walk through, hopefully, like we'll get enough items to, like, I think getting all these items, it made it a lot easier progressing through the game.
It really does. It really does. You want to get as much stuff as you can before each dungeon.
Yeah.
I mean, just whether it's heart pieces, rupees, bracelets, and things like that. But yeah, now that we have the upgraded sword, I believe it does 2 times damage, so these guys will take a few less shots to kill. But
and then next, right here, we're going to buy the candle, which will allow us to kill enemies first of all, but also allows us to burn these bushes.
Yep.
Which will also lead to more secret passages and rooms and stuff like that.
Yep. And again, like we mentioned, without a guide, man, how you would know some of these bushes to set on fire?
Like I said, there was a map, but I don't know if the map had like where to burn and stuff and where to bomb. I don't know that.
But and also, as Hick mentioned, it does also do damage to enemies once we get it.
Yeah.
Kind of like
lights up rooms too.
Yep. Like a very less powerful version of the fire rod.
Yeah.
Very less powerful.
But you can kill some enemies with just one of them.
Yep. It doesn't quite have the range of the fire rod in later games.
An important thing to know about the candle right here, you can only use it once per screen. So if you use it once, which I will do in this walkthrough, I use it once and I miss, you have to like go to another screen to reset it.
Yes. But it's nice you can use it once per screen instead of having to worry about a magic meter or something like that.
Yeah. I kind of like, with the arrows, like as you see later on, I use a rupee. I kind of like that idea more than like, being limited on arrows.
Took me a few dungeons to realize that, and I was wondering why I was always low on rupees.
Yeah, you can't shoot like crazy.
No,
they're unlimited, but they're not unlimited, the arrows.
Yeah. It was a neat concept at the time.
And by the way, I was watching our East Palace walkthrough the other day. We debated for about 30 seconds if there was a bow and arrow in this game. It's in the first dungeon.
Yeah. We did think about that. I forgot about that. It's been a long time.
Yeah, I think right here, I was watching it the other day. I think right here, I missed this bush. I did.
Well, the thing is, you have to be like, there has to be some distance between.
Yeah, distance. You gotta be right on. So like, I'll go off the screen here because you gotta reset it because you can only use it once per screen.
Because the flame itself will actually travel one, I guess, square away from you.
1, 2, 3, something like that.
So, and then it'll stop, and wherever it stops is where it's actually going to burn. So you just got to make sure to remember to.
It doesn't have to be like a direct shot, but
no. That's a nice 100 rupee prize, though.
And what we're doing is
now we're going to go get
the letter to the woman.
Yes, what the old man told us earlier was take this letter to the woman. So we're going to do that now, and she'll allow us to buy potions. Now that we have some rupees as well, especially after that 100 rupee room we walked through.
And then we'll get that potion, and then we'll get another 100 rupees, and that'll allow us to, and this makes no sense to me whatsoever, it'll allow us to buy the blue ring, which is the White Tunic.
Doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Who came up with this idea? I don't know.
But you'll see all that here in good time.
And then we still have one more heart piece before we enter the first dungeon.
Yep. That's one thing that I'm not sure if I liked about this game is how much there was to do before the first dungeon. I remember like A Link to the Past.
It's so dang hard though to get to. I mean, you go that first dungeon with 3 hearts, you're gonna die.
That I agree with, but I remember like in A Link to the Past and Ocarina of Time, it seems like you're in the first dungeon in 10 minutes.
Yeah,
Maybe a little longer in Ocarina of Time.
Well, there's more stuff you can do in Link to the Past too, though.
That is true.
I think you can get both bottles and stuff like that, so you can do a lot of stuff in Link to the Past too.
Yeah.
You just don't have to.
Nothing's
I didn't know you could use the. I thought you could use the down button. It took me a while to figure that out.
Yeah.
And that's where we get the potions right here by giving her that letter that we got.
Yep. And as we just learned here recently, the red potion is actually worth 2 blue potions. You use it once and it turns into a blue potion, and then you can use it again.
Yes.
And no matter how many hearts you have, they do fill your health up all the way. So they get even more useful later in the game.
Yes, I think the fairies only fill you about halfway again, right?
Well, it might be one of those like 7 hearts or
7 hearts,
like
7, 8 hearts, yeah. I see
Yeah.
that.
We'd like more, obviously.
Yeah.
But,
And then right here, I think we're going to get another 100 rupees. Yep.
I believe so, yep. Very handy to load up on these rupees now because there are some items to buy that cost a decent amount of money. As we learned a little later on when we bought everything we needed and have 1 rupee left over.
Yeah.
Let's just say the bow and arrow were taken out of play after that.
And then we'll go right here to buy the blue ring / white tunic, which I'm very upset that I don't think they ever brought back the white tunic in Zelda. Which I love. I just like the look of it. I think it's cool. I don't know.
Because by the time we got, let's see, Link to the Past had the blue
and the red. It had red.
Ocarina of Time had red and blue.
I know Majora's Mask had one.
He said the masks.
Yeah.
But we digress.
Yeah.
It is a pretty sweet look to see Link rocking
the white
green,
tunic. That's awesome.
Yeah, the white and light blue. It's a good look.
And you don't want to touch this middle top statue right here and don't get hit twice like I did. Just go right in there and dodge
They do
them.
damage. They do damage.
And you want to buy the blue ring right here, the $250 rupees
Speaking
one.
of being close on rupees.
Yeah.
That's why it's really helpful to hit those secret rooms that had the 100 rupees right there. Otherwise,
yeah, kill as many things as you can in the beginning.
Yes. Even if they only drop 1 rupee, it's still progress. So if that
And
one
that
rupee's
enemy,
good there.
and that enemy we just killed right there, they'll usually give you rupees.
Yep, the little blue guy that came out
Yeah, on the ground. Those usually have rupees.
Yep.
And then we're going to get 1 more heart piece, and then we'll be on to the first dungeon, which will be in walkthrough part 2 of our walkthrough.
Yep. And yeah, this heart piece, it's like, as Hick has mentioned a couple times, it is great getting these 3 hearts before you even try to venture into the first dungeon. Because otherwise, you just get in there and you die. And heck, sometimes you just get into the overworld and you die.
Yeah.
But once you make it into the game a little bit, you get a few items, you get a few hearts. We both agree that it turns into a really great game.
So note there, it's the 5th bush from the right is the one you burn.
Yep. Again, how would you ever know that?
Yeah. 5th bush from the right.
Yep.
And then we're kind of getting close here, and we are now headed up to the first dungeon, which is called the Eagle.
The Eagle. And now that we've got all our items, all our heart pieces, we're ready.
We also got our tunic that's going to take less damage. So I mean, we're pretty good shape to go for the first dungeon.
And you can check out part 2 of our walkthrough to see our walkthrough of the Eagle Dungeon.